Welcome to a Motivational Monday. Today we are going to be looking at a beautiful Aphonopelma chalcodes, also known as the Arizona blonde or the desert blonde. They are a wonderful North American species that I really love. In other news, I do have chicks hatching finally. No silkies. There was only one silkie developing and it just kind of puttered out, which is a huge bummer because I was very excited about silkies. So far we have lavender morans, copper morans, more morans hatching, and finally, they were very late. I am Samani are finally starting to hatch. Well, they're pipping. We'll see. In the egg game, you don't count your chickies before they hatch. And even more importantly, Daphne finally went into labor 5 days after her due date, and she gave birth on Saturday, the day after the last video, to 2 healthy doelings. So you'll be seeing more of them on Friday, and oh my word, they are angelic. So let's take a look at this beautiful chalcodes. Here is my beautiful Aphonopelma chalcodes. I've had this animal for quite a few years. This is pretty much a nice full-sized adult. They are a ground-dwelling species and they do like to burrow. So if you are setting them up in enclosure, they're going to want to be in a long, low enclosure with deeper substrate. My substrate of choice for them is vermiculite, but you can use cocoa fiber, you can use all kinds of things, you can mix in sand. The only thing you want to make sure is that whatever you're using, if it's from your garden department or if it's from the wild, that it does not have any pesticides in it. And little side tip, be careful if you are going to use vermiculite because some of it has now had Miracle-Gro added to it, which is actually a chemical additive that might hurt your invertebrates. One thing I like about this species is that they have some nice size to them, although they are not a massive species, but they have a very nice long lifespan, with females often documented, well, I wouldn't say often, but females having been documented living around 30 years, which is pretty amazing if you ask me. This is a species that is known for being not only more docile, but slow moving, and they have a less potent venom than many old world species, and although they do possess urticating hairs, they are not very quick to kick those hairs at you. So for those who like to interact with your tarantulas, this is definitely an animal that would be on the friendlier side compared to many baboons or Poecilotheria or something of that nature. They are relatively prolific. An interesting thing about these desert tarantulas is they live in burrows with the tiniest opening. You would not think that an animal could get in through a tiny opening like that. But often their burrows are very complex and multi-chambered, and this is just fascinating. But in the area, in Arizona and areas in the wild where this species lives, similarly to Aphonopelma hensi, they actually live in burrows that go straight down and then often will branch off, and they'll have a little, it's like a little cubby hole where they can go where it'll suddenly turn or go up. And basically, they live in areas with monsoon-like rains that will flood. And so if their burrows flood, they actually have a little safe room where they can go and hide. And that is just absolutely incredible. This is a species that I've been keeping for a lot of years. I have enjoyed reproducing, and they are my second favorite Aphonopelma, with Cochise being number 1. For their beautiful gunmetal gray coloration. I hope you enjoyed that look at my desert blonde Aphonopelma chalcodes. It's a beautiful species, one that's very beginner friendly, and I highly recommend them. I'm a huge fan since I can find them in the wild in not exactly where I live, but pretty close to where I live. So I can take a little drive and sometimes find these in the wild, which, what's cooler than that? Hope you guys like this one. Let me know what your favorite native species is, or even if you have tarantulas where you live, and I'll see you guys next time.